Finally, some progress. Okay, the valve lash is set, done, finished, and I'm a happy camper. Okay, on to something new for a change. I believe we need to get the spark plugs in, and then maybe just get the intake elbows on, and probably call it a day there. Maybe cover up some of the openings, just some of the small jobs. I don't have a lot of time because it's Super Bowl Sunday, and not that I care, but there's beer and snacks in my future, so there's something for that. So anyways, let's see what's next in the big book of Aerovee turbo engine building. That's interesting. I hadn't read that far ahead because I've been trapped on the push rods and valves, but two different gaps here. Top plugs get 18 thousandths gaps. Bottom plugs get 32 thousandths gaps. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember seeing the lower holes for plugs, but doesn't mean they're not there. I just wasn't looking for them. Let's see. Now I see him. Just never looked before. All right. Okay, let me go find the spark plugs. Okay, looks like I'm skipping the spark plug installation because I can only find 4 that I received, so doesn't mean the other 4 aren't there. I'm just going to have to look and see. So next step is going to be the intake elbows. All right. But once those are installed, will I have access to the spark plugs? This side. Sure. Okay. And I need the spacers. Be right back. Okay, I got the spacers, and I'm going to just temporarily finger tight the valve covers on here. I keep the engine properly bagged when I'm not working on it, but at the same time, one more layer of protection certainly doesn't hurt anybody. So. Extra valve cover gaskets. That's a nice treat. Just looks nice too, so gotta remember to go back and take that decal out of the inside, but this is just temporary. If nothing else, I feel like I accomplished something today just because I know the valve lash is 1000% proper and the valve covers are on and it looks a little bit more complete. Okay, so we need to, let's see, temporarily place each of the intake elbow spacers and intake elbows on the cylinder heads and inspect for interference between the elbows and the 2 upper center head studs. I believe mine is bolts, not studs, or nope. I could be wrong. I have these additional studs here, so I just need to make sure I'm using the right ones. Which would be it's not saying. I guess they're assuming they would have came installed. Those appear to be all the same size. I guess you guys can tell I do not plan these videos out or script them. I usually just come in here when I get a little time to work. and happened to flip the camera on and try and keep you guys posted, but you know, there's no film crew, there's no scripts, there's no preparation, there's no pre-assembly, disassembly, and then assembling quickly for you to watch. It's just me fumbling my way through. So I'm sure it irritates some of you people, but I'm sure I already know a lot of you people appreciate watching me learn as we go. So that's what I'm going to keep doing, because it's what's comfortable for me, and I don't have time to do the whole sort of crazy production thing. So bear with me. I will find 2 more nuts to put these on. Then we shall get them sealed in and go on to the next step.
Many minutes later.
Nope, never mind. My fault. Here I go jumping ahead again, thinking I know what I'm talking about, rather than slow down, read the instructions line for line, and don't just jump to the steps. Okay. Note, if your cylinder heads are equipped with mounting studs at the intake ports, the mounting studs must be removed. Okay. Let's take those studs out that I just found and stuck in. And then maybe I can find the 049 socket head cap screws, because I was looking for bags with nylock nuts with 049 on them, and those obviously don't exist. I get so excited, and it's, you know, just eager, and that's going to create a problem. I'm trying to approach this as calmly and organized as I can, and I still keep making these relatively silly mistakes from time to time. So I'm going to make the commitment right now to try my best to stop doing that. Just slow down, take the few extra seconds to read each word, read it twice if I have to, and hopefully stop looking stupid, because I'm actually not stupid. Alright, put these back in the bag. They must be designated for something else. Now I'm going to look for the socket head screws, the ZL149s. Now the curveball. Says the ZL149 is a socket head cap screw, which would mean like the Allen key cup looking things, but the ZL149 is actually a hex head bolt. So I was reading and paying attention that time after I got done making my stupid mistakes. And yeah, there's, compare the numbers, and these are the ones. All right, let me get the ZL126 washers. Bolts, washers. And what size are those going to be? 13 millimeter, I'm guessing. For the head size. Yep. So 13 millimeter socket. Nope. Yeah, we need to slow down, Mark. Okay. Apply the red high temp RTV to one side of each intake elbow spacer and position each spacer on each cylinder head. Permatex side against the cylinder head. Then apply red high heat temperature RTV to each intake elbow. Okay. So we're using the red high temp RTV for this step. Red high temp Permatex, new tube. Let me grab a relatively clean rag, wipe my hands down. Can's lost pressure. I hate it when that happens. Just wipe down my surfaces. Want to make sure I get good adherence with the gasket sealer. You know what? I'm going to grab a pair of gloves because this stuff's messy. And I know I'm going to use my finger to smear it at some point, so might as well just get ahead of the situation. I already wish I'd cut a bigger hole. I don't like the red sealant going on the red surface. Makes you kind of squint to make sure you're getting good application and coverage. So I'm going a little extra slow to try and be thorough here. I mean, I've got enough on there where the squeeze out should cover it just fine. All right, and that's going to be 10 foot-pounds. All right. One side down. This stuff stinks. Whew. All right, intakes are on. What's next while we're on a roll? Oil seal on the back of the engine. This is a step I think I'm going to wait till do, because I think the next step is to actually, no, we could do the block off plates. Yeah, because that right, not too far after the oil seal installation, install the flywheel. Now, in order to do that, I need to get 227 foot-pounds of torque on this. My torque wrench doesn't even go that high, so I think I need to buy a new torque wrench, and I'm also going to need to have somebody to assist me during that period, seeing how the engine is not like bolted down to anything. So that's a bigger project. So I need to get up to a probably 250 foot-pound torque wrench anyways, I guess. So I'm going to do some shopping and do that. But let's see about doing the miscellaneous block-off plates. I'm going to try and gather the parts. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I gathered everything I need for the next step, which is just block off plates. Install fuel pump block off plate. Right. And find the correct gasket. That was a lucky guess right out of the beginning, huh? And install the fuel pump block off plate using two of these bolts, the ZL118s. And the correct corresponding gasket from the gasket set. It says nothing at all about gasket sealer, but I think that we'll still get a coat of the engine oil on both sides to saturate the gasket so it'll swell in there and create a seal. So as usual, I'm using the motor oil I plan on running in the engine. Put a little bit in a cap Try not to make a massive mess, but where'd my semi-clean rag go? Alright, so it doesn't say anything about washers. See washers in the picture, though. I always feel better using washers. I'm going to go get some washers. Alright, no torque settings. Let's just stick with the 10 pounds. It's a light enough setting, but it should have it seated. And at least I know it's uniform torque across the two. Okay, light coat of oil on the O-rings of the oil fill plug. I hear this thing's a bit of a bugger to get in and out the first few times. There was a ring on it. I kind of mangled and bent that ring taking it out. I think Steve had put it in with white lithium grease, and we've all seen what happens to white lithium grease after nothing's been done with it for a while. So I'm going to use the actual motor oil. Hopefully that is a little easier too. Oh yeah. There we go. Throw it around. Okay, 2.75 quarts of oil. Alright, next step. Remove the pre-installed studs from the engine case and install the oil breather plate using 4 of the ZL126 bolts and corresponding paper gasket. Do not install the metal louver gasket as it will restrict the breather. Okay. And where does this baby go? This goes over here, so let's clean that surface. Those bolts don't thread smoothly, and that concerns me. If it was just one, I would think the hole was a little buggered and I just want to run a tap through it. I don't own a lot of metric taps. That could be a problem. But just want to nothing. Doesn't feel wrong. It's definitely a closely measured thread, though. It's tight tolerance there. Very close class of thread. Again, no torque specs called out, so I'm just going to stick with this 10. I may do a little more research in the off time, but I don't think I can go wrong with 10 right now. All right, what's next? Okay, I've got an oil temperature plate here. Actually, I think there was 2 of them in the kit. I just says if you're using the optional temperature sender offered by Sonex aircraft, you will drill a 1/2 inch diameter hole and tap it with an M14 by 1.5 tap. All right. I'm not sure if Steve had opted for the oil temperature sender or not. If he did not, I definitely want it. So I'm going to go look and see if it's sitting over there. And if it is, we'll get it installed. And if not, we'll get it ordered. All right, well, the plate has already been drilled and tapped. So I cannot find the oil temp sensor. I will look again in my off time. And if not, I'll get it ordered, but we can get the plate installed. Okay, 2 ZL123 nuts and corresponding gaskets. There's the gasket. Let me get the ZL123 nuts. Again, no mention of washers, but I definitely prefer them to distribute the load evenly. And all right, we got the gaskets, so we got this, and I forget where cylinder number 2 is. 1, 2, no, yes, maybe, no, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, and we got studs hanging out the front there, so that assures me I'm in the right spot. Let me try and spin this without losing a finger. All right, I don't know if you can see down here. Yeah, maybe not. All right, I think you got a good view down there now. Or, I don't know about a good view, but you can at least see the area I'm working in. And let's see, semi-clean rag with some dribbles of brake cleaner. Clean mating surfaces are always important in any project at all, not just airplane engines, but feels really weird using a half-inch torque wrench to do something as silly as, like, say 10 foot-pounds of torque on something. But I trust this wrench a lot more than I trust my older 3/8 wrench. So while I'm shopping for a torque wrench that goes to 250 to do the flywheel, I may be in the market for a new 3/8 inch torque wrench too, because it certainly would be put to good use. Can barely even feel it when this thing clicks at 10 pounds. So. All right. It definitely looks a lot more like an engine now. Yeah, I mean, the engine itself is built. We're just adding accessories now. So we'll get the rear seal on, get the flywheel on, and we'll start focusing on, I think next is like the oil coolers, obviously the electronics, and yeah, before you know it, this thing will be ready to fly. That thing, on the other hand, not so soon. But as always, if you like following along with what I'm doing here, be sure to click the subscribe button down below and then click the little notification bell. I think that tells you when I have a new video up and ready to view. Smash that like button, like everybody else says, because, well, it's important to YouTube. I mean, I know you like the videos because you watch them, but apparently YouTube needs that extra little thumbs up so that it knows you're enjoying the video, and it'll show the video to more people. And be sure to share these with your friends. Thanks for watching.